5, 1.
Oh.
Nice. Nice one. Try. 7. Yep. Go. Yep.
That's a full chest.
All right, we are back. Today we're in vintage gym with the one and only, the Dutch Oak.
Yes, we're here.
So, I'm gonna train some chest. Wesley has a very good chest, so let's see how this goes. We're gonna do an old school kind of training, chest only, 7 exercises, so we're gonna probably be sore for 3 or 5 days.
That's good because in 2 days I actually have a holiday, so I can be as sore as you want me to be.
Nice.
I can recover there. So
Where are you going?
Curacao.
Nice. Going with an inflamed chest?
Yeah.
That's the goal. All right. Yeah, so it's an ultra bro split.
Yeah.
It's chest today, then tomorrow it's hamstrings and biceps, so it's biceps and biceps. Double biceps, double B.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then a rest day, then I have back only,
Yeah.
then shoulders and triceps, then quads, then rest and chest.
And triceps?
Shoulders and triceps.
Oh, shoulders and triceps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so just a couple of warm-up sets to get some blood in the pecs, get the connective tissue ready, and connect with the movement, I think.
Is this the first time you're doing a split like this?
Well, no, I used to do it when I started training.
When you were a true bro.
Yeah. But as of late, I've only done higher frequency splits, like push-pull legs or that kind of stuff. Any variation of push-pull legs. So I was kind of scared to start doing it. When Patrick told me, I was like, I don't know. But I'm coachable, so I just said, I'm going to try it. And I actually like it. I like both, high frequency, lower frequency, but this gives you the opportunity, like today, to really focus on chest, just chest.
Yeah.
And then also give it ample time to recover.
True.
I find that actually if you get bigger, you know, your muscles get bigger, they require more recovery.
Yeah.
And training them more frequently, according to science, can cause better results. We don't know how that works in really big people because they haven't been studied.
Yeah.
And especially like quads or back, they need more time to recover, I think. So I kind of like it. It's a lot of fatigue in one day.
Yeah.
And then you fuck it up for the rest of
Yeah,
the
but then you know, because you should have a full week of rest, you know you can fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's, and normally if you have more frequency, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
am
I
I
gotta
going
do
too
it again.
far?
Yeah.
And any doubt in a workout is killing, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. By the way, do you want any force reps or do you just want to feel yourself?
Not in the beginning of the training. Later on, we'll hit some intensifiers and
Nice.
do the fun stuff.
Yeah, because you never know. Sometimes in prep you want to hit, depending on how many weeks out you are.
Yeah, right now.
Stop doing the beyond failure stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to create too much, but I can handle it at this point still. Quality. Nice. Woo! Very good, very good. All right, another working set, up a little bit.
Even heavier.
Yeah, pyramiding up. And then sometimes I'm like, I go by feel a lot now. So that previous set, I would classify as a working set.
Yeah.
This one's gonna be a working set. And I might do a backup set after this.
Yeah.
I feel like I want a little bit more.
More of a pump.
Yeah, just don't feel fully satisfied yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not really in true off-season mode yet, or are you?
Recovery.
Yeah, recovery mode.
After a holiday, I'll go on true off-season. Because I noticed ever since the Arnold, I got so sick.
Yeah, your body's
You
fatigued.
underestimate how much damage it does to your immune system. It took me, I think pretty much like from a week ago, I was still kind of messed up. Like the immune system, just every time my children came home from school with a little bit of a cough, I got it immediately. I was like, I couldn't really get over the hump. So I needed more time with more food, more sleep. And I think after the holiday, mentally refreshing, and then we're gonna start pushing up.
I think it's gonna be good, man.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see some new mass added.
Yeah, the oak needs to grow. Let's go. Nice.
Get it, man. Yes. Good set, man.
Woo. Yeah, ever since I noticed my legs are, of course, my weak point. Since Arnold, when I got sick, I lost the legs the first, so that means that is the least foundation. I don't really go so much to failure anymore in the upper body, because I'm like, for me, it's no use.
I get it.
Yeah, I with the legs, I go beyond failure.
Yeah, you need
with
to
the upper body, it's like 1 or 0 reps in reserve, basically. Because otherwise, the imbalance will never disappear.
No, you need to create some recovery room for the lower body.
Exactly, exactly.
Because I heard Ben Chow talking about this. It's not only your body favors certain muscle group grows easier, but it's also favoring recovery of those muscle groups.
Yeah.
Compared to the ones that are not growing as easily.
Very true.
So indeed, you gotta. For me, it's the opposite. I gotta grow my upper.
Yeah.
My arms and legs are
insane.
I'm cool with that.
Do you still log your lifts, or do you just more feel?
Feel.
Also way nicer, I guess.
Yeah, if I log, at some point has a tipping point. I start to get carried away by the numbers, and that's when I start injuring myself.
Yeah.
I'm kind of dissociating from the muscle and I'm focusing on the numbers.
Yeah.
And also, if you're doing a workout and you're logged and maybe you miss your first set, kind of messes you up mentally.
For the rest of the workout, yeah.
So I like to go in, keep the pressure low, but that's the funny thing. I go in keeping the pressure low mentally, but then once I start touching the weights, I push myself either way. So I don't need it as an anchor necessarily.
Nice.
It could be a good recovery monitoring tool though.
Let's go. Easy. Nice. Yep. Good.
How much calories are you on now in this recovery phase?
A little below 5,000, I think.
Yeah, very nice number.
That's where I kind of maintain my weight.
And it's a sweet spot appetite-wise as well, I think.
Yeah, it's exactly right. The meals are just big enough so I'm not hungry, but also...
You start feeling hungry before you need to eat a meal.
And every morning I also notice that I wake up with an appetite. And we both know, I think, deep in the off-season, sometimes you wake up, you're like, oh damn, I'm not even hungry for the breakfast, that's a problem. That is a problem.
I remember I was waking up and then my girlfriend would already be cooking her breakfast.
Yeah.
And just from the smell of it, I get like...
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Come on. Yes. For flat press, what do you prefer? I'd like to do the ATX one for decline later on, if we can.
Then I think we're gonna do
the
it's stack loaded, but it'll be heavy enough.
Yeah, I've done this one at FIBO actually, at the pump-up area.
Yeah, I don't think at the FIBO they maximize the stack weight.
Probably not.
Because I told them, add as much weight to the stack as you can until the range of motion becomes a problem. So it's the maximum weight, but if I could say, double the weight, but then you wouldn't have the range of motion anymore.
Yeah, of course. Or you need to be digging a hole into the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah, when I was choosing the machines, I was like, okay, I need a combination of some free weight movements, but also some stack loaded ones, because I know when you have your own gym, you got to think about the people as well.
Space and plates.
And what people prefer. And sometimes people just want to, me myself as well, deep in prep, you just want to put one pin into the stack instead of like grabbing like multiple of those plates.
Yeah, tomorrow on deadlifting, that's always a fun thing. Putting all the plates on. Next time we gotta hit a leg session then.
Yeah, we should.
Do you ever do Bulgarian split squats?
Yeah.
I love them for adductor and development actually. Also quad and glute, obviously.
True. Okay, those adductors, for me, I really need those. I mean, that's just for the gap in the back double bicep especially.
Yeah.
Because I always need to do extremely... I want to be able to squeeze a glute, but then there's too much of a gap.
You need to rotate this back a little bit.
But then I have to rotate back, but I lose the definition.
I need to do the same, but not for my adductors, but if I squeeze the glute, then the lower back kind of becomes elongated and flat.
Oh yeah.
So I need to actually rotate back for the lower.
Yeah.
We can do some poses.
It's like a balance thing.
Yeah. But yeah, leg session we can do, man.
This is gonna be the next one. Let's go. Woo.
I'm up with that.
Let's do this. Come on. Yep. Come on. Nice.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, I have to say, I've never in my life done a stack press or a stack weighted machine, chest press, that was difficult. No. So it was like full stack was too easy, and I was like, oh, can I make it difficult enough And luckily, this is exactly the weight where you want to end.
Yeah.
And even if it's still too light, you can add a gym pin if you want.
All right. All through the chest. All through the chest.
Okay. Oh. Woo. Yeah.
Very nice last rep there. I think I'm gonna hold it on this weight for another set.
Yeah, sure. What is your minimum rep range?
6.
Yeah.
I do anywhere between 6 and 15.
Nice.
And I try to pyramid up to where I get close to 6 and then back off for a little bit more.
Okay.
So the previous set I got 9.
It's funny because like when I started working out, my father, who is not known about training knowledge at all, he always said if you can do at least 6, you gotta go heavier. It was just a random number in my head, but I always followed that advice for like 7 years in a row, and it always worked.
Yeah, well, it worked.
Before
we can see that it worked.
Yeah. But before the literature said, oh, at least 6 to 30 then, but that's a little too much.
It was bro science that turned into science.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
A lot of that stuff, man, the bro science stuff turns into science.
Yeah.
All right, let's get locked in.
Yeah. Come on. Nice.
Yeah, that was right on the money.
Yeah. I don't think you put much stock into people saying only the stretch part is worth it and don't lose too much energy in the squeeze.
No.
No, I think, yeah.
I don't think anything in training is that black and white. Mm-hmm. And I kind of, I like the science part of training. I like to read it. I like to try it. But I never, ever count anything out. As in, I see everything as that's another tool for in the box. But people are starting to say, like, they read a study about lengthened partials, and they're like, oh, yeah, you don't need to squeeze. You just need lengthened partials.
Yeah.
It's the same as saying training frequency, right?
Yeah.
Some studies said higher frequency equals more gains. Doesn't mean all of a sudden that lower training frequency doesn't work.
Exactly.
It's all contextual. And I think people who think that black and white are really only limiting themselves.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think, like you said earlier, the bro science turned into science.
Yeah.
Stuff like the squeeze and like, I've always said, like, for example, a rope push down with triceps, I think of it as like carving in the detail in the tricep.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to prove because it takes a long time before you can see the result, but I always felt it. And when you compare guys who never go to the full squeeze, they have like a balloon tricep.
Yeah.
And the guys who squeeze it have like all the striations.
All the striations
So there must be some truth to it.
Phil Heath used to say that as well. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
He used to say that a lot, actually. It's like, all these guys are pushing the full stack, but they're not thinking about like really squeezing through that muscle. Yeah, I actually, as of recent, I kind of switched myself more over to the bro science part a little bit, as I just like it more as well.
Yeah, I wanted to say that the
Gives
science
me the freedom.
Is also quite boring. Yeah. If you think about the science too much, the training, the reason we started is because of the fun.
Yes, exactly.
And then the science makes it boring. I'm like, yeah, even if I make 10% less gains,
right?
I don't care because it's boring, you know, it's not fun.
I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you. All right, man. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Squeeze. Squeeze. There's one more. There's one more. Drive. 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 Nice. Do you ever still flat bench? So remember, I used to watch Wesley's videos when I'm talking 2014, 15. There was always flat bench.
Always. Honestly, I haven't seriously done it in many years. The only version is the swim machine flat bench.
You do like the 15 degrees.
Yeah, well, also flat.
Okay.
But every time that I do the flat bench, sometimes like as a tutorial, or it does feel like, oh, this actually feels pretty good. But then it's still a light weight because I don't know what's going to happen.
It's a high risk, high reward.
Yeah, exactly.
Exercise.
Yeah.
I try to throw it in every now and then, but since my shoulder injury, I'm very careful with it.
Yeah.
I just really like the feeling of it. There's no exercise that gives me as much disruption as the flat bench when you go heavy. I'm talking heavy.
Yeah, that gave me the initial growth in my chest, and it never really grew that much more after it. When I stopped. But yeah, the shoulders start to be a limiting factor.
Yeah. All right, this is a backup set. We might do a little bit of an intensifier here, but nothing crazy just yet. Maybe just a couple of rest pause. Okay. Like drop it, go again, because we got to do the incline after this.
Yeah.
We'll do an, SST from Patrick.
Oh yeah?
We'll do one of them sets.
Okay, nice.
Last exercise. It's brutal.
Come on. Nice. Nice. Yes. Nice.
Come on.
Let's go. So the rest pause, is it instinct when you want to go again?
I do like a couple of breaths. I did 7 now.
Yeah.
Anywhere between 5 and 10 breaths.
Okay.
Like
yeah, getting oxygen back.
Yeah. And then depending on between 5 and 10 I go.
Okay.
I might have done a little bit more if I was.
Yeah, if you feel like it's no use anyway to still start.
Yeah. And just go to failure 2 times. That's the main part. Very light. Squeeze through the chest. Here we go. Big heaps of air. Expand. Whenever you're ready. Explosive reps now, that's the only way. High motor unit. Drive through, let's go. Let's start to slow down. Lovely. Drive. Drive.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
Ooh. I might be in recovery mode, but still every workout counts here.
True.
Towards the next show.
Yeah. Otherwise, why are we doing it?
Exactly. Want to do some incline barbell, maybe in a Smith or free?
Sure.
What do you prefer?
I think Smith is easier because otherwise we'd have to go to.
All right, yeah. We'll do Smith. Prefer this Smith or the upstairs one?
This one is nice.
All right, cool. So yeah, we were just talking about kind of how you can let your metabolism work for you, but also in terms of recovery. So Wesley's done some training with Hani Rambat, FST7, and we were talking about if you do that kind of stuff, you actually have the ability to eat more, grow more, and recover more whilst eating more, and especially in prep, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's the higher energy flux situation, which is always better than eating less and doing less.
Yeah, more in, more out is better than exactly. It's quite a heavy Smith.
Yeah, it is. I'm always like, ooh, I look weak on this one, but it just feels heavier
Yeah, it's heavy.
than or other substitutes could just be lighter. Maybe this is a real
True,
weight.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of Smiths have the contraweight system. They have like cables to it as well.
Yeah, and sometimes the bar itself is like 5 kilos lighter also. That you can't really test it, but
Ever since my injury, I really learned to let go of what people will think of the weights
Yeah,
you're using.
yeah.
It doesn't matter at all.
no.
So individual. Some people are really good at moving weights.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean they're going to get bigger.
exactly. Because I know a lot of people are a lot stronger than me with some body parts like the back, but when I stand next to them, it's a different story.
Exactly,
Like, it doesn't matter.
It's quite an individual journey in that.
Yeah.
At the point of filming this, I'm exactly 6 weeks out now. Sent my check-in to Patrick this morning. Once again, he didn't change anything. He's like, keep going. Great.
Nice.
It's a very, very steady process until now.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. When nothing needs to change, your body is responding to what you're doing.
Exactly.
So I think we've all experienced it differently before, where you have to keep pushing and then you're not responding. That's the worst.
Yeah, then
I've done that, experienced that many times.
me too. Last prep for my pro card, I had to, we discussed it when I was here also. I had to like do some pretty funky stuff to get there.
Sucks. Go. Nice.
All of a sudden.
Yep. Have you ever done a DNA test?
Nope.
I've done it, and now with ChatGPT,
Oh,
you can actually upload your raw DNA data and say, in terms of bodybuilding,
Genetics.
what can you extract that is relevant to me?
Oh shit.
And there actually came some information that I can actually work with. For example, there can be a gene that makes your the removal of lactic acid less efficient.
Less efficient.
Oh, you also can have more efficient,
yeah,
but I have the less efficient.
For
version.
endurance people, that would be more efficient, would be better.
Exactly. But I noticed, like, when I worked out with Hani and he did FST7, I'm like, how the hell can anybody
Go through this.
I'm like, I literally, it's impossible to move my legs now.
Yeah. Have you ever felt lactic acid drunk? It's like when you get like there's so much inflammation coming up, you actually start to get some kind of drunk in your head, and you're like.
During the exercise, I feel it, but I do recover really quickly when I'm actually standing up and I'm not doing anything anymore.
Okay.
Then it goes back quite quickly, but it's difficult to get rid of the lactic acid quick enough during the movement.
During the movement, yeah.
So now I know, okay, a beta-alanine for me would be a good addition. Because it's literally buffering.
It speeds up the Cori cycle,
Yeah.
The Cori cycle is the lactic acid buffering process.
So it's stuff like this, and there's a lot more came out of that. But I was like, hey, this is literally a supplement I can use
specifically
for me that I know now that works.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that actually.
Yeah, you should.
Where did you do DNA testing?
Well, I did it years ago on MyHeritage.
On MyHeritage, okay.
But it's not the complete one. I did a one now at sequencing.com. Because MyHeritage only does the genes responsible to see what your ancestors are.
Yeah, true.
But there are some overlapping genes that you can still tell, okay, you're this genotype for lactic acid. But now I did one that does my entire genome, which I can now in full detail, I can scan my DNA for anything imaginable, but it's still in processing right now.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna do a video about this and see. Then you really are your genetics.
Yeah.
But you can do something about it at least if you know it.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll hit you up with a link later.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do it, man. That's good. Oh yeah. Quality. Yeah, last 3 reps. Any rep looked like it was going to be your last, but then you still had 2 more.
And that's the funny thing. you have grinder people and you have people who stop immediately.
That's me.
So you probably handle lactic acid very well, but me, I just had to push through that feeling, and it's like slowly emptying the tank, and like all of a sudden then it stops, but some people, they stop all of a sudden, and that's purely the glucose, the glycogen, the energy. So
could
that's
also be from I always figured it had something to do with muscle fiber makeup as well. Like if you have more type 2A fibers versus type 1.
Yeah.
Like type 1 fibers are the slow contracting fibers. So people who have more type 1, they can do more of those like grinder reps.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, it's like literally, I might do one kind of grinder rep and then I'm done. I can't do anything more.
Yeah, it's probably the body is so complicated at the end of the day. Probably a combination of a lot of things, but.
Which is also why I think we can't completely use science for our, right? Because it's so individual.
True.
Right.
Nice. Yep. Nice one.
Drive. 7. Lovely. Yeah, buddy. We can actually start on this weight because you have to drop. Because the way it goes like is the first part of the set is just like normal explosive reps till failure. Then you take some weight off, and then we're doing 5-second negatives with still explosive concentrics to failure. Take some weight off. Normal eccentrics with 5-second concentrics.
Yeah.
And then go drop again, and then you do 5 slow and 5 slow.
You have to remind me in the set what to do.
Start on this. Let's put some 10s. We can use these 10s, I think.
Yeah.
For the drop in between.
Sure.
Then take the 10s off, go with one plate.
Yeah.
All right. It's gonna be carnage, guys. Like I said, we gotta give him some inflamed pecs for Curacao.
I need a bra there. That's the goal. Yep.
Five-second eccentric.
Nice. Go.
Yep.
One plate now, right?
Yep. 5-second concentrics.
That's going to be the challenging one.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fuck. Put the 10 on. Slow up, slow down.
Let's do this. Come on. Yep. Let's go. Up, 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 up. Yeah, all you, all you. Nice. If you would only do this exercise as like anybody normal, this would already be enough for the whole workout, probably, to be sore the next day.
This one is just normal tempo. Just to failure. Come on. Yep. Slow eccentrics, 5 seconds.
Yep.
Not just slowing it down, squeezing against it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, come on.
Oh, damn.
This one is gonna surprise you. Normal eccentric, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the chest, little shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay. Slow down, slow up. Pumped?
Yeah. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Keep breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drive up. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4, 5. Slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And
Oh, man.
yeah, buddy.
That's a full chest.
Now we're hitting some the ATX decline.
Yeah. Whew.
During prep, I never used to watch video series
Yeah.
because I always think it's a waste of time. But during prep with cardio, more cardio, at some point, like when the cardio goes 45 or above, I want to watch series. And I started watching Dexter. You know that one?
Oh, yeah?
You know the series Dexter?
Well, my son is called Dexter
I know,
because
I
of the series.
Oh, because I was actually wondering, is it because of the series or because of Dexter Jackson?
No, I actually didn't even think about Dexter Jackson. I was like, oh, wait, you have Dexter Jackson as well.
Yeah.
But it was because me and Marley both watched Dexter separately before we knew each other.
Okay.
And we were like, wait a second, that's actually a nice combo.
It's a very old series, but and people have been telling me to watch it for years.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it has 8 seasons or something.
Yeah.
When am I ever gonna watch it? But prep's the perfect time.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
I like it.
Sure.
It's funny because me and my girlfriend, we've both watched the series as well.
Yeah?
A different one. It's Sons of Anarchy,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too.
and there's also a name in there that we were both like, if we do get a son, then that's gonna be his name.
Nice. When we got our son, Vikings was still going on TV.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, you're for sure gonna call him like Ragnar
Especially
or...
with your heritage.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, oh, you're definitely gonna do that, but now that would be a little too cliche, you know?
Yeah. Warm up a little bit on this. Connect. When in doubt, double it.
Let's go.
Nice. I like this.
Yeah, this is the first chest press we had, and ever since I had it, I was like, that's not gonna go away.
No, it's very, the way it converges.
Yeah, and plate loaded, so you can never max it out. Feels very smooth. So even when we transformed the whole gym, people were also like, oh, please don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't get rid of this one.
Come on. Let's go.
Okay.
Boom. My off-season obviously didn't go very well because I got injured.
Yeah.
When my off-season was about to start, after I won my pro card, and was like a pretty bad one with 2 partial tears in the rotator cuff. Took an entire year for me to rehab.
Yeah.
And then once I was kind of like, okay, I can start building training back up. Did that for a while, but then I think half a year in, appetite was gone.
Oh, yeah.
And then Patrick said, okay, now we got to go into prep.
Yeah.
But then, myself too, I was surprised with, even though I was injured.
I think it goes to show that you don't need as much training as we think. then maybe we push ourselves into the ground too much without
it's fun.
realizing, because but we never compare it to another situation because that's all we do.
Exactly.
So you don't know what you can achieve with less.
Time is also a big factor, I think, just time in general.
For sure.
And obviously I did not train,
Yeah.
but for my upper there was I think at least a half year I could barely do anything.
Yeah.
My legs I've been able to.
Yeah, those screw for sure. It's not gonna be a problem.
Yes.
Yep. Come on. Let's go.
Nice. Chest is full.
Yep. Let's go. Come on. Nice.
En een filmpje af inderdaad.
Yeah.
Clean.
Yep. Come on.
Yes.
Woo.
Dip time.
Yep. It's upstairs.
All right. See how this is. Nice. Actually feel pretty satisfied with this one.
Yeah?
I don't think we're gonna need the flies after this.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about training on feel as well.
Yeah. Yeah, some days you feel like the energy is there, the recovery is there, you do a little bit more. It's not, again, it's not that black and white. If you do
No.
logbooking and you do
Yeah.
a little bit less one day, it doesn't mean you're losing gains.
True.
Some people think that way. That's it, use the chest. That's it. That kind of detail, what you see on Wesley, you only get that through years of bodybuilding and dieting down, growing back, dieting down, growing back,
Yeah.
carving out.
Exactly. That's bro science kind of truth that you can only get those details
the muscle
by
maturity.
repetition throughout the years.
And
like
that's to the point we were just discussing. Like,
Yeah.
if you're logbooking and you're thinking, I had one workout was worse than the previous week, I'm losing gains. Now, that's not how it works. It's about being able to stay consistent for a longer period of time. And
Exactly.
within that, obviously, try to make some.
Very true.
This is going to be good. Let's go. We'll back off after this. Get some more reps in.
More.
It's just a heavy set. Yeah, buddy. Nice. Solid. Come on, this.
Okay. That's a heavy set.
Big titties on the resort, walking around like Pump Daddy. All the middle-aged women there. Gonna be. Let's do one last intensifier here as the final set. I'm thinking just another rest pause. Going to failure twice.
Yep.
And then get some posing in.
Nice. That's it. These are the reps. Perfect.
Love it. All right, get it in. Yep. Make it a beauty. Yes. Come on. Let's go, Wes. That's it. 1, 3, 4. Let's crank out a few more. Let's go. Drive. Yes. Drive. Come on. Drive. That's it. That's it.
Oh. That's it, yes. All right, front relaxed. Nice. Quads look insane. Quarter turn to the right. Very nice. You can see very clearly this shoulder and this shoulder in the picture, very wide delts. Quarter turn to the right. Yes, very nice X frame. The legs match the upper body very well. He can afford to put his arms nice and high to create that really wide width he has. Quarter turn to the right. Yes, very nice. All right, present to the judges. Front double biceps. Very good. Front lat spread. Good transition. Nice. Yes, nice tension on the lats. Keep the tension on the quad as well. Yes, nice. Side chest. As you can see, Dan is transitioning in between poses, which is very good. Very nice. Yeah. Try to turn in a little bit more. Nice. As wide as possible shoulders. All right, back double biceps. Yeah, we talked about this one before, improved a whole lot. Lats are much wider now. Yes, hamstrings are contracted. Very good. Back lat spread. A lot of people forget the legs in this one, also the previous one. Yeah, you can see here the definition is coming through very nicely. Very good V-taper. Matching the legs once again. Side tricep. Nice. Turn in a little bit more. Yeah, you want to see this delt, yes. Very nice. Abs and thighs. He kept his waist very tight during the side tricep, which is very important. And also here, his waist is coming in very nicely. And this transition is good as well. Yes. And then the favorite, most muscular. Very nice. Good. Yeah, and when a most muscular fits anybody, it would be done. And one thing I did hear from Tyler as well and from Steve, you have 3 most musculars now, but you actually want to move as little as possible when you're hitting a pose. Because he's like, we can't look at the pose long enough if you keep doing different poses. Because I asked him about my favorite classic pose, and I was like, do you want to see 1 or 2? He was like, always hit 1. Because otherwise you're ruining the pose, he said, because you want to judge you against the others and then you move into something else. So yeah, I would go for the minimum amount that you think looks the very best on you. And yeah.
It's also a way of preserving energy.
True, yeah.
Yeah. And if you reset, you kind of have like a mini second to breathe.
Exactly, exactly.
But you could potentially do the same one, like hit a most muscular, and then...
Yeah, true. Yeah. At least hit it again in the same way, because that's what Nick Walker did actually. He did the clasp, the most muscular, and then just stepped forward, did it again, like the same way. And maybe if the crowd goes nuts, then you end it with a crab.
Right. Yeah,
but then you feel
sense.
it, you feel it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but the posing is really solid. Also very nice transitions in between every pose, which is what they want to see. Not unnecessary transitions, but you're showing strengths.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, in between poses, when it's not an official pose, but they do see it.
Yeah, I think it's very important in professional bodybuilding. Everything has to look professional.
Exactly.
It can be.
No.
Yeah. All right, thanks. If you obviously you just seen it very shortly, but if you were to say work on this and this a little bit more, now I only have 6 weeks obviously.
Yeah.
But maybe detail-wise, posing-wise, which poses do you think still need a little bit of work?
I think side tricep.
Okay, yeah.
Because the flexibility is needed there, mobility. And yeah, it's difficult because I mentioned during the side tricep you want to see the other delt, but then it gets progressively more difficult to keep the stomach tight and to keep this other arm straight as well. So I think that's just practice. And also, yeah, you're a very big guy, so it's physically difficult to grab your hand behind.
Especially now we're pumped a little bit.
Yeah,
it's going to be pumped on stage.
Yeah, the 2 guys who I'd recommend look at is Jay Cutler, who did it, and Derek Lansford. He does it the same way as Jay, and it's kind of like in an angle.
Yeah, they kind of lean in.
Yeah, I think it allows more freedom in the back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I personally think the front lat spread.
Yeah.
I find it very hard to reach that front.
Yeah.
And post workouts.
Yeah.
Stomach control. Like in a front double, I can.
Yeah.
In a front lat. Like now, I think it's good.
Yeah.
But it's a hit or miss.
Yeah. I personally always I just breathe out the air, but don't necessarily pull a vacuum. I use my hands to press in the stomach, and when there's no air there, it's easier. and then actually breathe into the upper chest. So you actually pull up your stomach into your... Yeah. Yes, nice. You can. Yeah, I also like seeing the striations in, because when you push in your stomach, in your sides, you automatically squeeze the chest.
It feels good actually.
Yeah.
So you kind of breathe out.
Nice. It's always going to be a balance in between what do you want to see. Or do you want to see as wide as possible with the lats, or do you also...
Lean back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, because I've done the mistake leaning forward too much because it makes it easier to suck in the stomach, but it's a combination of the width and the proportions.
I think it's one of the hardest ones for me, but it's
Yeah.
exactly what you said.
Yeah.
I like it, like when you lean back, you see like
Yeah.
the width.
Exactly. And it's also, it's always very difficult to say this, but it depends on who shows up. Because when you have like very big guys, you want to hit it the biggest possible way.
Right.
But if you have very, like for example, if Regan Grimes would do it, Derek Lunsford, Andrew Jack, then you want to do it in a little bit more aesthetic way. So you don't, otherwise they automatically cross you off like, oh, he's too different. And yeah, it kind of depends, but if you find the most comfortable version that looks the best, then you should always hit it like that. Because we all know in the gym is different than on stage. If it feels a little uncomfortable, it's not going to work on stage.
Yeah, because of the nerves and the
Yeah.
excitement and everything. But practice is a big thing. Though.
True. Michael Crusoe had the same thing.
Yeah,
He had a shoulder injury, but he actually did the back double bicep perfectly in his gym. And then he said, on stage, I just couldn't do it.
With the nerves up in
Yeah,
the shoulders back.
he had too much nerves and not enough practice to do it perfectly, and then it ruined his pose.
I'm doing, in the morning after cardio, I do 3 rounds of posing. And
Yeah.
Usually post-workout, I do another 1 or 2
Nice.
every day now. Just to really drill it in.
Yeah, posing is so underestimated. I mean, you can make or break your placing,
I think
basically.
it should literally be about 50% of the bodybuilding prep.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thanks Wesley for the tips and the training. And next time we might do legs.
It's needed. It's needed.
And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to comment, like, subscribe. I think you already know Wesley's channel, but if you don't, it's Wesley Vissers. And yeah, that's it. 6 more weeks, so let's get it.
Do this.
I chose bodybuilding as my journey, and I'm loving every second of it. Welcome to the pursuit.